Morning. First of all, again, I want to apologize for my lateness. It has been a crazy week. I am officially moved over the weekend, Monday and Tuesday, and am in the new house and ready to go. So, back on schedule with work and with school and everything else. So, thank you for your patience. For me, this is a huge topic. Pain is something that has a lot of different definitions for me. And I really wasn't sure how to handle this topic or how to think about it. So I've gotten a lot of thought. Um, what I love the most is going through and reading the C.S. Lewis book and looking at this definition of pain because it really makes me hit both sides. So when we talk about it helped me kind of sort things out. It says any experience, whether physical or mental, which the patient dislikes, it will be noticed that all pains in the sense A become pains in sense B if they are raised above a certain very low level of intensity. But that pains in the B sense need not be pains in the A sense. Pain in the B sense, in fact, is synonymous with suffering, anguish, tribulation, adversity. And so that's when I'm thinking we can have physical pain and we can get used to it and we can have a higher pain tolerance. And then we can have the emotional pain. And sometimes that emotional pain will actually cause physical pain too. Um, and then looking at the article that we saw with what I've always called psychosomatic, which is the pain that's not really there, but it's there. Because if we feel it, it's there, but there's no cause of that pain. Um, so it's in our minds and it's suffering from whatever. And when I think about this, I think of a lot of people who are suffering from any type of depression or anything like that. Fibromyalgia comes to mind. They really don't have that huge thing, but they have that intense body pain all the time. And I've always wondered if the two are very connected, the mental with the physical when it comes to pain, especially, like I said, when it comes to like fibromyalgia, because it's very common to see that duality in those two. Um, but I don't think we're ever going to get rid of pain emotionally or physically because we're human. And until we get our new bodies, there will always be the pain and suffering, the anguish. So it's the level of and how we cope with it. We talk about life being 90% or 10% of what we're dealt and 90% about what we do with it. And I think that goes for the pain and suffering too. And then I can think of the apostles and how they were grateful and praised God for their suffering because we suffer for Christ. And knowing that we're Christians, that's going to be something that's expected, is that we're going to have some suffering and some persecution because of that. So I think in all, it's how we deal with it and what we do with it. Being very, very careful not to start enjoying the pain. So that's where that fine line is. Um, we get used to it and then we start wallowing in it. And then this is me and this is my life. And, it's just another thing that happens and this is what's expected. So I'm just not even going to fight it. And I don't want people to get to that point where that's where they're at. But I think, especially for me, I have gotten so accustomed to being in pain that I don't even think I realized I was in pain. And I think that's where a lot of it's coming from. So the last year, I want to say for me, has been a huge awareness of pain and awareness of trauma and where it's got me, what it's caused me. And so now it's having to bring up those things that I pushed down for so long and made numb, not with drugs or alcohol or anything else. I would just compartmentalize them and put them in a different part of my brain so I didn't think about those things. However, it was still affecting my behavior and my thoughts and everything else involved. So now I'm unpacking, and I'm feeling those pains again in a real sense. And now I'm learning how to deal with those and how to make those different. So there's a big, broad thing when it comes to that, in my opinion. And there's definitely not a one size fits all. But I think we have to learn how to deal with our pain, how to expect some of that pain, and then have coping strategies, not just for what happened to us in our past and how to get over that, but in the future. Okay, so now that I'm equipped, I have this tool bag. I know that when this happens, this is where I can go. This is what I can do. So we already have those plans in place. So when life does happen that causes pain, that we have solutions or at least know the path to take, and that's where it comes to, because I don't think we're ever going to get rid of pain. And so we don't, that's not our goal. Is It's not to remove any pain, it's to learn how to deal with the pain and how to accept that, and then how to move forward. Because if we're stuck in there, we don't grow. And the other thing is, if we're not in pain, we don't grow. If there's not a change, if we're not pushed to move forward, then we stay stagnant. And that's not beneficial either. So I think a lot of times that pain is necessary. Pain is what makes us change. Pain is what makes us move forward, and it's not as much the pain itself that's beneficial, however, the growth is. And I know we talk about growing pains, and sometimes it really hurts physically when we grow. And my boys are 12 and 13 now, and they have experienced lots of those and go through those quite frequently, especially now that they're hitting those huge growth spurts. But it's there. Without the pain, we don't grow sometimes, and it's different for everybody. As long as we don't turn it into a martyr. And what I mean by that is the woe is me, life is pain, and this is where I'm comfortable. And I'm comfortable being in pain. I'm comfortable suffering. Um, because that one's not healthy either. And that's, I think, what I'm growing out of, is because I have been so comfortable in my pain, yet stagnant in my pain. So that's the process. Not getting rid of it, but learning how to get through it. Anyway, my opinions. Thanks for listening, and I will talk to you soon. Have a great day.